What's up, guys? This is episode 109 of the Beginning of the Week podcast. All right, let's see where this little red wagon takes us this week, huh? Let's go for a ride. All right, guys, thank you for joining us today. Thank you. We appreciate you for taking the time and just being here, man, you know. Again, thank you very much. So, it's Monday and it is it's gross outside, dude. It's a rainy Monday and that's what it is, man. It's been a Monday, man, you know. I'm currently doing this podcast without any shoes on. Ran into a little incident this morning. 'Cause like an intelligent person that I am, I guess, maybe not. No, I consider myself a little idiotic, but I stepped, and this is an idiotic move today, but I stepped right into a puddle getting out of my car. And because I was running late trying to get here, so now I only have, I got one shoe that's wet, one shoe that's not. Got one sock that's wet, the other one currently dry. And so that's how my day has started off, you know. And I'll tell you what, man, there's nothing in this world that feels more gross than walking around with wet socks on your feet. You know, especially engulfed into your shoe, dude. I mean, am I right or am I right? There's nothing worse than wet socks and wet shoes. You know, because, you know, at first I started out this day with my foot feeling warm in its cozy environment, and it was just living in this dry life, and then but then all of a sudden, you know, right when my foot, you know, that puddle was so deceiving. You know, I thought it was only like, you know, a half inch minus an eighth or whatever in that thing, in that little aqueduct manhole or whatever. And then right when I got out of the car, foot went right down into it, covered up my whole foot. And so now, since it was in the living of the dry, you know, it was living that dry life, the whole story changes now, because now my dry shoe and sock feels, it felt like a damp haunted like swamp or something like that, you know, and that's the thing, man. Every time, you know, if you get your sock and shoe wet and everything, you know, every time you take a step, it just feels wrong, doesn't it? It just feels like you just like you're putting your foot into a damn bowl full of mayo or something like that, or some chopped up pieces of you know, squash. Can you imagine putting your foot in some zucchini or whatever, some chopped up zucchini, and you're just, you know, that's what my foot felt like. But, you know, and the thing is, right when it happens, you instantly want to take it off. You just got to, because it doesn't feel normal. You know, it just makes you feel, makes you feel a little dirty, I guess. You know, and I don't mind feeling dirty in certain cases, but when it comes down to a wet shoe and a wet sock, you know, from stepping into this little tiny puddle, you know, it just made me feel like I'm like living in moist misery, I guess, you know? And I just felt like, oh man, is this how the rest of my day's gonna go? You know? Or at least this is how it's gonna go until I get until I get home and get a new pair of socks and all that sort of thing. And that's just what that is. But so I'm currently doing this without any damn shoes on. And I'll tell you one thing, it is strange. It's strange because I like my shoes. I like my shoes on. You know, man feet weird me out. I'm sure you guys know that by now because I've said it about half a dozen times, but that's how this Monday is currently starting out for me, and I hope it's been better for you than what I'm going through right now. But anyways, I hope you guys, all you moms out there, I hope you guys had a beautiful Mother's Day yesterday. Hopefully your son or your daughter or your son, daughter, or whatever, because, that's a thing nowadays, I guess, what I'm saying, son, daughter, But either which way, man, I hope you guys got something nice and you got to enjoy your special day with your family or whoever you spend it with. And again, man, just happy Mother's Day again to all of you moms out there. And again, I want to say thank you guys for everything that you've done for us, for all of us children out there, because that's what we are, man. We will always be a child in our mom's eyes, no matter how old we get or anything like that, or what kind of current situation we are in or whatever, man. You'll always be, you always have a mom to go back to. So, and that's a beautiful thing. So, so happy Mother's Day again to all of you, moms out there again. What else has been going on, man? Well, other than the freaking puddle issue that I've been dealing with, that's a new, check that off the list on how this day's been going. I'm feeling a little bit hurt. I'm on that hurt side, that hurt locker side of life right now today because, I'll be honest. Nobody ever prepares you for something like this, man. Okay? Because this sort of thing that I'm about to tell you just kind of sneaks up on you out of nowhere. It's kind of like, it's kind of like when you get you're like a surprise from an ex or whatever. You don't know it when it's about to happen, but then when it happens, you're like, man, I don't know if I want to deal with all this. And maybe I'm explaining a little goofy, but yeah, it's like a surprise from an ex that you haven't spoke to in years, and out of nowhere they pop up in like a Whole Foods or something like that, and you do everything to try to avoid them, and bam, man, you go to the cereal aisle and there they are. They see you, you see them, and now you just got to deal with it, and that's just how that goes. But for the last 2 days, man, I've been dealing with, and I don't know if this is too personal or not, but personal is how things go sometimes on here. So I'm just going to put it out there, man. I've been dealing with a little bit of issue. I've been dealing with a little bit of thigh burn. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of that friction fiction. I've been dealing with that chafing, however you want to pronounce it. I've been dealing with a little bit of chafing. And it's a damn sneaky burn, boy. That's what it is. Cause that's all I know. All I know is that I was walking fine. And then suddenly my thighs just felt like they were just raging war against each other. Like the West Coast, East Coast rap war that happened in the 90s between Tupac and Biggie. That's what it felt like. It starts with like an innocent movement, and then suddenly your own legs just turn on you, and now you just feel like you're in the trenches because it just feels like the damn devil's just been rubbing in between your thighs, and the thing is, you try anything. You will try anything just to get some relief, man. You're trying to do damage control. You start beginning to do, desperate problem solving to try to fix that at least that's me, man. I've been trying to do anything and everything to try to fix this issue that I've been dealing with. And again, man, I mean, you'll start with anything just to reach some relief. Like, and what I mean by that is, you know, because me, I've been strutting around like a damn cowboy who owns the Wild West for at least a good part of the day, I guess. But you go, and again, man, you try anything for some relief. So you get into your medicine cabinet that you haven't even touched in like 6 months or whatever, or 8 months, and you look at all the stuff that you have in there, and the problem is 80% of it has it's all expired. So you try another avenue, because at this point in time, you're just doing anything to try to make this feeling go away. You'll throw I've thrown lotion on this thing, all in between my legs, and I've even slapped some damn baby powder on me, and I slapped myself with it. That sort of thing. Heck, at one point in time when I opened up the fridge, I looked at the damn butter and I was like, maybe I'll slap some damn country crocker between my legs and just, and see what that does. You'll do anything to try anything, that takes your mind off of it. You go into panic mode almost, because, once you're just trying to resolve this issue, that chafing issue. And you just got to make a move. That's what it is. You just got to somehow make a move, because you have to, like, you're doing anything to stop the rubbing, everything. It's just rubbing. And me, man, I'm a boxer guy. That's what I am. I wear boxers. I don't wear those tighty whities or anything. I want my junk to be free flowing and damn. I don't want that. I want my D and balls to freaking breathe for a moment. But you can't wear boxers in this particular situation, and that's just what it is. So for this particular incident, I had to go a different route. So I went out to go get some boxer briefs, because, I had to get tighter around my legs. In this certain instance, you got to get, you're trying your best to keep everything together so your adult thighs just don't rub together. So I went out and bought me a couple pairs of some black boxer briefs, and now it looks like I'm just wearing some formal wear on the lower half of my body, like there's some damn, like I'm wearing some damn thigh tuxedos or something like that. And let me say this, man, they got this, I don't know, man, maybe a couple of you males out there, maybe you like that grip and slip action, because that's what they do, man. These things will cling to your legs, and then it makes you feel like they never want to let you go, and that's just what it is. And it's been helping, but man, it just came out of nowhere, And yeah, granted, it's been hot, but damn, man, not hot enough to make your damn legs rub together to start a damn forest fire down there. One of my buddies, he used to play soccer, a close friend of mine, he used to play soccer growing up, and he, he got on the bus one morning, and he was talking about how, running and sliding around in the grass, caused him to get a bad case of nut rash. And I'm like, damn, what's nut rash? The fuck is that? And man, maybe I'm sorry. Maybe this is a little too much for a Monday, but, and I'm sorry if that is what it is, but hey, this is life, man. Pretty or not, this is life. But I guess the grass, in my mind, I'm thinking that the grass, would 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 get. I guess it got inside of his shorts, and then it got tucked up in a couple orifice or whatever that term is, orifices or whatever. Got tucked in. Got put in inside. Certain spots. Tucked up in a certain place or whatever, and then nut rash happened, dude. But he got it bad, boy. I mean, bad. He was talking about how he went to the doctor and the doctor put him on a bunch of steroids and threw him a couple lubes, a couple lubricants and, threw that at him. And then he said it finally went away about a week later or whatever. But he said it got to the point where it hurt so bad that it felt just like he had like 1,000 little itty bitty creatures just holding little tiny, like they each had their own lighter or whatever, and it's just little tiny flames, just eating at him every time he was walking. So I guess the moral of that story is, I guess just don't play soccer, I guess, or whatever, But anyways, man, that's just I'm dealing, this Monday has been, it's been a Monday, man. Socks and shoes are wet, got the chafing, that chafing incident happening, and I'm sure I'll beat it, and get back to normal. It's just right now, this is just what I'm going through right now. So, and that's just what it is. Can't help it. It's life. It's life. So, but hopefully that goes away pretty soon and yeah. So, what else has been going on, man? What else has been going on? And sorry if that's a little personal. It's just what it is, man. Let's see. Well, there's something that has been floating around the internet, and it's about Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg and AI. He said the average American has fewer than 3 friends and desires a much larger number of connections, possibly around 15 people. And that's, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. Does the average American only have 3 friends? So what I wanted to do was take a little look at what he said in this interview with whoever it was, and so let's just take a look real quick, man. Let's just see what he said, and then we'll just take it from there, huh? Let's jump into this thing real quick. Okay, here we go.
I think as the personalization loop kicks in and the AI just starts to get to know you better and better, I think that will just be really compelling. One thing just from working on social media for a long time is there's the stat that I always think is crazy. The average American, I think it's fewer than 3 friends. 3 people that they'd consider friends. And the average person has demand for meaningfully more. I think it's like 15 friends or something, right? I guess there's probably some point where you're like, all right, I'm just too busy. I can't deal with more people. But the average person wants more connection than they have. So, there's a lot of questions that people ask of stuff like, okay, is this going to replace kind of in-person connections or real life connections? And my default is that the answer to that is probably no. I think I think that there are all these things that are better about kind of physical connections when you can have them, but the reality is that people just don't have the connection and they feel more alone a lot of the time than they would like. So I think that a lot of these things that today there might be a little bit of a stigma around, I would guess that over time we will find the vocabulary as a society to be able to articulate why that is valuable and why the people who are doing these things are like why they are rational for doing it and like and how it is adding value for their lives. But also I think that the field is very early. So I mean, it's like I think there are a handful of companies and stuff who are doing virtual therapist and there's like virtual girlfriend type stuff, but it's very early.
Huh. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I mean, he's essentially saying that AI will bring or create friends for people that don't have friends. And I'm just, I don't know, man. I'm curious about what you guys think. What do you guys think, man? Do you think AI is going to be a great thing for us to create friends? I mean, this is also coming from a guy, and I don't know this guy personally or anything, but it just sounds like he wants everyone to be just as lonely as him, dude. Really. And maybe I'm wrong, man. Maybe he has a bunch of friends but it's just behind closed doors or whatever. But like, what happened to, setting your phone down? Setting your phone down and going out and, saying hi. Like, what happened to that? What happened to making friends the old school way? Because that is the way that we've been doing this for hundreds of years. How do you think a caveman? You think a caveman, like went over and shot a text at another caveman and said, "Hey, what's happening?" Or do you think he went over there, tapped him on the shoulder, maybe started humping his leg a little bit, maybe he showed him a little, maybe a little chafing, maybe that sort of thing, showed his nuts a little bit and said, "Boy, you look like I or I want to be your friend, man." Something like that. I mean, what happened to going and knocking on someone's door and saying, "Hey, man, is Ryan home? Let's go, light fireworks off and, go and, go do what boys do, get into trouble." What happened to that? It just sounds like they're like nowadays it just seems like the kids are relying on too much of the machine this machine, everyone, doesn't give that emotional connection that we need as a human, man. I mean, what are you going to do when your ex-girlfriend breaks up with you, or like your girlfriend breaks up with you, or your ex-girlfriend breaks up with you, because that's weird, right? But, usually when that happens, what do? You call up your friends. You go to your friends because they understand what you're going through, because they've been going through or have gone through the same sort of thing. That is the connection. That's a human connection. You can't say, AI or Siri or whatever, Alexis or dyslexia or whatever you want to call your damn machines, that sort of thing. You can't be like, "Oh, hey, my girlfriend just dumped me and I'm feeling really bad about it. And I don't know like what to do. I feel a little lost right now." So, is AI going to say, "Oh, well, I know how that feels. I'm sorry. You should probably go stick your dick in another person." They ain't going to say that. They don't know what it's like. Let's do this. I've never used AI, but here we go. Let's try. Let's see this. Let's see what it says when I type in my girlfriend just broke up with me, and I don't know what to do about it. Huh? Yeah. Okay. I don't know what to do about it. Let's see what it says. Okay, this is what it says right here. Oh, that's really tough, and I'm sorry you're going through this. Breakups can feel like a whirlwind of emotions, confusing, painful, and even overwhelming. It's completely normal to feel lost right now. The last thing you can do, or the best thing you can do at the moment, is just be kind to yourself. Give yourself some space to process what happened, whether it blah, 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 blah. Try journaling. Try talking to close friends. Essentially, we don't need this. We don't need this. You know, we don't need a machine to tell us how to grieve. And maybe this dude, maybe Zukerberg, maybe he needs it, because maybe he doesn't have as many friends as, maybe he's taking all of our information and that is his friend, And look, man, I know this is the future, but it just sounds like since he doesn't have very many friends and it just seems like he wants everyone to suffer just like him, man. And don't get me wrong, again, AI has, certain aspects that are really nice and other aspects that are just really faulty and false and gross and like, it's just all these, you just hear so much downfall. And it's just we're getting ahead of ourselves, I guess. And he talked about vocabulary, learning the vocabulary. Like a vocabulary of what? Like the vocabulary of the machine learning us to try to mimic us or try to become us? Like what vocabulary? I don't get it. But I can only imagine what it's going to be like in 2 years, man. Again, if you guys got anything, what do you guys think, man? Leave a comment at the bottom or whatever, and let just say something about it if you guys want to take the time. But man, what else has been going on? Oh, here's something, man. It looks like Andre 3000 wore a damn piano on his back at the Met Gala. Let's see what this thing looks like, man. Let's see what. Andre, what did you look like? Why?
Andre, look this way for Esquire.
I don't. What? What's the point? What? I don't. I'm lost. I'm so lost. And I think he wore the piano like it's a damn book bag. If you guys look at my screen, or you guys look up Andre 3000 piano wear or whatever, like you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's just, man, these fashion shows, I've never understood them. They all have these outfits that are completely just unwearable, And maybe it's just, I don't know, it's a French thing, man. It's got to be a French thing. Because the French get real French when it comes down to wanting to show off their wild-ass clothes, I mean, that's what it is. You'll see a damn French wear a wolf head around town and you'll see people trying to fucking feed it and that sort of thing. or maybe you might see one of the, you might see a girl or something wearing one of those what are they called? Those like shower pom things, that you clean your body with. What are they called? Loofah. A loofah. You'll see Jean Barre, ooh la la, out there, scrubbing down her Pomeranian with one of those things while it's like covering her entire body. That's what they do at these event shows. That's what they do at the Met Gala. And I don't know, man. And it just, if you ask me, man, all these are a little flamboyant, man. Or should I say, this shit is for fancy people. It is. Fancy, rich people come to shit like this. It's just very uppity. It's an uppity sort of thing, again, that rich people go to. And dude, I'm not a fan. Like, I'm just not a fan of the rich. And I've said that also before. Not like rich people bug me out. That's never been a thing. It's just, I don't like it. This event only holds people like that are celebrities already, or that know celebrities, or have these people have social media publicists behind, or private doctors, or whatever they got going on. They got people chopping up salads for them and doing all kinds of crazy shit because rich people can get away with stuff like that. You want all the green M&Ms picked out of the bag. Well, you know what? A rich person will fucking hire someone to do that sort of shit. Just rich people have that sort of thing going on, man. It's just what it is. That's and the thing is, I know, I don't know some of these people that have gone to the gala or whatever, but I know what it's like to have friends that have rich parents. And they're just different. It's like a spoiled different. And I guess that's just something I can't get down with. There's just two types of people to me that I just don't like, man. And it's just rich people and people that steal from other people. And I guess in the end, that's just rich people. I don't understand this fashion thing. You're dressing up like a Kleenex box, or you're putting a bubble wrap around your body and, calling yourself, UPS packaging or something like that, or whatever you're doing. And look, man, fashion is art. I believe that. I believe that is to be true, But some of this Met Gala, some of these outfits look more like experiments that have just gone wrong or something. People have, these things that these people are wearing, at a certain point, they just stop becoming, they aren't outfits anymore. They're damn, they're just sculptures or something. They're abstract sculptures, And just like Andre 3000, look at what he's doing, dude. What are we doing? And some of these guys, and I'm talking about just guys, guys that you thought were real manly guys, Goggins, he went out there and he's looking the way he looks and everything. And man, and Walter Goggins, that's who I'm talking about, And I still love him. I love him as an actor and everything, but some of why, I thought you were more of a, an underground, like a muskrat or something that you wouldn't attend these events because it's not in your wheelhouse. You just don't look like you would participate in shit like this. And don't get me wrong. I guess that's a big thing that's going on. the gala, and I don't know when it started or anything, and I'm not going to look it up, but it just seems like the gala just, I don't know, these fashion shows, man. It's just it irks me because no one's ever going to wear that in their everyday lives. They just aren't going to. So what's the point? I guess. What's Andre 3000? What was the point of putting the piano on your back? You know, and he has a new record coming out, I guess, that has the piano sketch on it and all this, but some of that shit, dude, like, again, I just don't get it. Maybe it's something that I just don't need to get, I guess, but I guess, you know, fashion is never going to die if this kind of crazy shit keeps happening, but anyways, let's see what else. Oh, we got that new pope. We got a new pope in town, you know, and he's American. We got an American pope, baby. That's crazy. That is crazy. His name is let's see, what's his name, dude? He's going by Cardinal Pope Leo the whatever, I don't know what Roman numeral that is because you know, I don't live in Roman times. So can we just put the number down? It says his first name is Robert. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Roberto. Why not? I mean, yeah, I guess they're going to leave it as Leo because that makes sense, you know, because damn, but Leo, that sounds Italiano as F, huh? Doesn't it? Hey, Leo, you want to be Pope? What do you think, Leo? And he's like, man, I mean, I guess so. I mean, I'll be Pope if you want me to, man. I mean, you telling me that you want me to be the Pope, huh? Like, all right, let's do this, huh? Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Leo. I wonder how they how do they tell when, like, how do they pick a new pope? Yeah, I mean, I've heard that there's like something, I don't know, a smoke signal or something goes off or something like that. Like, let's see. How do they pick a new pope? How about that? The Cardinals vote by secret ballot processing one by one up to Michelangelo fresco of the Last Judgment, saying a prayer and dropping a twice folded ballot. Okay, I don't know what that means. No, but like, understanding the conclave. Yeah, how does it? Oh, it looks like they send smoke signals or something up, and if it's black smoke, they haven't elected a new pope if it's a black smoke. But if it's white, I guess if it's white smoke, then that's what it is. But 2/3 plus one majority votes for the Cardinals elected. White smoke will be sent. Oh, okay. It says for 2 days. Day two. Okay, so there was 2 days of black smoke, and then I guess on the third, they put the white out into the air because that's not racy, is it? Yep. Black smoke as Cardinals continue to vote to pick the new. Yep, that's what it is. So, okay. So white smoke goes in the air, and that's how they elect the Pope. And he's from Chicago. Okay. All right. Well, it was kind of weird. I heard the other day that in the Vatican or whatever, wherever they have all the pictures of all the popes up, that somehow the last pope was the last picture where they put their or the last frame where they put their picture in and everything. Supposedly that was the end. What am I trying to say? It was like the revelation is happening. Like they knew that he was, like, they didn't know that his name was going to be what it was or whatever. Like, let's see. Sorry, I should have looked at this. Oh yeah, see, like Pope Francis, right? Yeah, it's like the prophecy or whatever. Historians say that it's like they didn't know that his name was going to be Francis or anything like that, but they already had like the plaque already down there before he even got elected as the Pope. Like somehow they knew that he was going to be like in the running or whatever, or something, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, plucked from the Vatican archives. 900-year-old manuscript is believed to be to predict. Like that's what it is. Like they're saying that the prophecy of all the popes are like the prophecy is already like has already been fulfilled or whatever. Like the day when the world ends, essentially is coming closer than more sooner than later, I guess. And I guess so, because look, AI is doing it, right? So, oh man. Well, congratulations, Bobby, Bob. All right. Anyways, I was going to get into some news and everything, guys, but we'll do that next time, Anyways, all right. I'm going to roll. I'm going to bounce. I'm going to get back to some dry. I need some dry shit on my feet, and maybe put a little bit more, slap some more Sacagawea butter on there or whatever on my in between my thighs, and make that, maybe I'll butter some bread, doing that sort of thing or whatever. But anyways, all right, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I hope your Monday is going to treat you better than me, man, or than it has for me. So anyways, all right, guys, thank you for taking the time with us. And love you guys. Stay true to yourselves, and we'll get at you next week. All right. Take care, everybody.